Hi everyone! Welcome to my little corner of YouTube entertainment. If you're not familiar with my channel, I'm Glammy Lammy, and I'm someone who has a passion about opinions as well as discussion. My opinions as well as your opinions. We keep it classy, but fun. My channel is not for moral grandstanding, but for just that, opinions. So let's get into it. So today, I saw on Twitter about Logan Paul and KSI getting their drinks, their prime drinks being talked about as far as not being okay for children. Um, to that which I'm saying, it is a caffeinated drink. Why in the world are we thinking that it's okay in any capacity that kids should be drinking caffeinated drinks is beyond me. So Kavos has had a video, he's made a video about this, which, why wouldn't he? He has had every chance possible um, to speak about Logan Paul because he absolutely can't stand the Paul brothers, which, um, I don't really like them either. I had like a small snippet of a hope for Logan. Like I really thought that he would turn things around. He was on the Impulsive, and I watched a couple of his Impulsive things, and I was like, huh, he sounds mature. He sounds like, maybe he's going in the right direction. And slowly but surely, he just seemed to be, right where everybody else was with the I just want to make money and don't care about anything else kind of thing. And then with the crypto zoo egg thing, that was a whole mess. Okay, so let's get into it. Kavos's video, let's go.
Calories, boom! Zero sugar, boom! 200 milligrams of caffeine!
Doctors say there is a prime concern about a new brand of drink.
I think there's a disaster waiting to happen.
I hope parents are not buying the kids the energy drinks. Look at what they're giving their child.
Do not let your kids drink Prime. That is the headline today. Let's look at why experts are telling you not to let your kids drink Prime and the impact this could have on KSI and Logan Paul. Prime is one of the most successful influencer brands in the world, but today we aren't actually talking about Prime hydration. Prime Energy is today's focus.
Right, it's the energy drink. See, I think that the regular Prime stuff, that was just like swanky coconut water, which wasn't really that big of a deal. And I think that most of the kids were drawn to it because of the fact that it was Logan Paul and KSI, and they're very big in wrestling and all those things. So it made sense. Okay.
And is coming under heavy scrutiny. What is important first, I think, to this whole story that we're going to talk about? What comes to your mind when you think of Prime? Apart from screaming 11-year-old.
Okay, what comes to my mind when I think of Prime is just coconut water. That's what I think of, is just absolute coconut water. And I guess Logan Paul and KSI, because they came up with it.
This drink was advertised by KSI and Logan Paul as a healthy sports drink filled with electrolytes, coconut water, healthy alternative to Gatorade and all the rest.
850 milligrams of electrolytes, 250 milligrams BCAAs,
10% coconut water.
Help me understand, honestly. We made a better for you drink that tastes better.
Oh, he sounds so arrogant. He just sounds so arrogant. Like, we made the best drink in the entire world. Come drink our drinks.
Yeah. So why the would we not overtake Gatorade eventually?
There needs to be like I don't know what it's like, a consumer and like cultural shift regarding hydration beverages that like we have to lead.
Logan Paul even went as far as to compare Prime hydration with all its competitors, showing how much healthier Prime is and how it's just way better because of it. And naturally, parents, kids flock to Prime, kids buying it, parents grabbing it for their kids wherever they can find it. And this is why the FDA have been asked to investigate their recent release, Prime Energy.
See, but why are they selling it to kids, though? That's my question. Like, if it's an energy drink, it shouldn't be going to kids. So if it's the kids are buying this, that's a parent problem. That's not Logan Paul. And as much as I'd like to say, okay, let's, put the fault on Logan Paul and KSI because they're the owners, it's not their fault if the kids are buying this stuff. It's up to the parents to be like, no, I'm sorry, you can't drink that. Here you can have the regular Prime one because it's coconut water and it's safer, but no, you can't have the energy drinks. It's the same thing that why you shouldn't give Monsters to kids. I mean, Monsters have 160 count of caffeine. Like, I'm not going to sit there and say, here, child, drink this. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. It's a parent problem, not a Logan Paul problem.
FDA asked to investigate Logan Paul's energy drink Prime, which has the caffeine of 6 Coke cans. I never drink energy drinks. I hate them. Way too much caffeine.
See, low-key, I feel like that's weak. Do you know what I mean? 6 Coke cans, really? I've been known to drink, like, 4 Monsters in a day. Like, I don't know. 6 Coke cans, for me personally, I couldn't be bothered.
But for that Prime can to have
Oh,
the
no.
equivalent of 6
Oh, my gun
Coke
broke.
cans worth of caffeine, holy fuck. For a brand that prides itself on, being a healthier alternative.
We made a better for you drink.
Yeah, for the water. For the water is I'm dying. For the water, it's supposed to be a better drink, not the caffeinated, the caffeinated one. The energy drink, that's supposed to be healthier? Like what? Don't think so.
That tastes better.
That seems like a shitload of caffeine. Senator Charles Schumer called on the FDA to investigate the beverage brand founded by the YouTube star Logan Paul and KSI, which has become something of an obsession among their legions of young followers. And that is an absolute fact. This drink, this brand, is targeted at young kids.
Oh no, is he actually for the fact that he thinks that Logan Paul and KSI are wrong for this? Oh. Alright, well, like I said, discussion opinions. If that's his opinion, I guess that's fair. But for me personally, I feel like it just lands on the parents. I mean, I guess for teenagers, they can have the money depending if they're like 16, 17 or whatever and maybe have a job. But for the younger ones they have to ask their parents to buy it. And it's up to the parents to say yes or no. And if they say yes, that's on them,
Influencer backed energy drink that has earned viral popularity among children is facing scrutiny from lawmakers and health experts over its potentially dangerous levels of caffeine. On Sunday, Senator Charles Schumer called on the Food and Drug Administration to investigate Prime, a beverage founded by the YouTube stars Logan Paul and KSI that has something of an obsession among its young fans. One of the summer's hottest status symbols for kids is not an outfit or a toy, it's a beverage. But buyer and parents beware because it's a serious health concern for the kids it so feverishly targets.
See, I feel like that's a duh, though. Ugh.
Advertising itself as zero sugar and vegan, the neon-colored cans are among a growing number of energy drinks with elevated levels of caffeine. Prime
200 milligrams of caffeine.
That's all energy drinks. All of them. All of the energy drinks have high concentratedness of caffeine. That's the whole point of them. I don't... Okay. Sure.
Per 12 ounces, equivalent to about half a dozen Coke cans or nearly 2 Red Bulls. I actually pulled up some competitors as well.
See, 2 Red Bulls, that's weak. I generally have like 4 cups, like 4 cans of Monster, like spaced out throughout the day, but 4 cans of Monster. 2 little Coke, like 2 little cans of Red Bull, that would not get me through the day.
Of Prime. So Red Bull in the UK, at least, has 80 milligrams of caffeine per 250 milliliters. And then I was like, well, what about Monster Energy? Monster Energy's 16-ounce cans, not even 12 ounces like the Prime cans, only contains 160 milligrams of caffeine.
Yeah,
Prime Energy
that's 160. That's what I said.
It's one of the highest concentrated energy drinks that is in the market. On top of that, on the shelves, Prime and Prime Energy, they look the same. A parent or a kid would just grab.
They don't look the same, though. They really don't. Like, one looks like a bottle of, a bottle of juice, and the other one looks like a can of soda. They look completely different.
Of it and think it is the same drink. Now, Prime Energy does have a warning on the label. Apparently, it's not recommended.
Oh, gluten-free, just saying.
Recommended for people under the age of 18, which would eliminate 99% of Prime's actual demographic. Some pediatricians warned of possible health impacts on young children, such as heart problems, anxiety, and digestive issues.
Okay, that's with Coke too. Do you know that like soda can actually take off paint of a car? Like that's any type of sugary drink like that. None of them are good for you. I just then take them all off. Take all of them. You're gonna have to take all of them if you have this one problem with this one particular one. And I think that Monsters are probably worse. You know?
Company representatives, however, have defended the product as clearly labelled. Not recommended for children under 18, they sell a separate sports drink known as Prime Hydration, which contains no caffeine at all. Representatives for Prime did not immediately return a request for comment. In this letter to the FDA, Schumer claimed there was little noticeable difference in the online marketing of the two drinks, leading many parents to believe they were purchasing a juice for their kids, only to wind up with a cauldron of caffeine.
Okay, wait a minute. So the caffeine, the commercial, they're saying the commercial is leading the parents. Well, wouldn't the parents, like, look into the product and not just go off of the can? Like, if my kids sit there and be like, oh, okay, I want this really, really fancy, game. I want I want to watch this game, or I want to play this game. I'll sit there and I'll ask them, I'll be like, okay, well, what is it rated? And then I'll look it up to figure out what it is before I actually agree to let my kid do it. Like, I don't know.
Simple search on social media for Prime will generate an eye-popping amount of sponsored content, which is advertising. This is content, and the claims made should be investigated along with the ingredients and the caffeine content in the Prime energy drink. From what I've seen of Prime advertising, it all just blends together and meshes the same. I had no idea that Prime Energy actually had so much caffeine until today.
200 milligrams of caffeine!
I just assumed, like, the hydration drink, they were going to go the more healthier route, so it was going to be an energy drink, less caffeine.
But it actually has more caffeine than a Monster? Interesting. Ooh, what did I do?
Seems they just went the opposite and, thought, well, Red Bull and Monster have this much caffeine, let's get more caffeine than them, I guess. And you might be like, well,
we just went over that too. I like playing the game and doing this. Sometimes I get distracted by the game. Sorry.
Well, that's a bit unfair. Why do you think Logan Paul and his team at Prime and KSI would want to beat competitors like that in regards to, milligram amount and what goes in their formula? Well, Logan Paul's made it very clear that Prime has made decisions about their formula just to spite competitors.
All right, we're going 1 for 1. The new Prime Hydration Sticks versus Liquid IV. Liquid IV, 45 calories. Prime Stick, 25. Liquid IV with 11 grams of...
Okay, but that's what you're supposed to do when marketing. That's literally what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to make your product stand out before anybody else's product. Like, this is actually making me stand up for Logan Paul, this whole situation. Like, what? That's literally what you do in marketing. If I had a product of my own or something like that, I would definitely make it so that it would stand out from any other product. So I would try to I would do what, any other company would do, where you'd sit there and be like, okay, well, if this competitor has, pigment in the eyeshadow, I'm going to do you one better and I'll double the pigment and, things of that nature. It's just to make it so that your particular brand stands out. That makes sense.
Sugar compared to Prime's 2 grams. Liquid IV has 870 milligrams of electrolytes, and the Prime Stick has 871 milligrams of electrolytes. And that was intentional, so we could literally one-up them.
In Logan's comparison, you can tell how excited he's getting just for the fact that Prime has more of something, even though, as we will see, it has no real scientific benefit at all. So what I imagine happened here with Prime Energy was that they just said, well, it's an energy drink, so we got to jack up the caffeine and have more caffeine than Red Bull and Monster, just so they can say they have more.
200 milligrams of caffeine!
When in reality, more caffeine like this in a drink targeted towards children is not a great thing. If anything, it would have been a great USP to go, hey guys, this energy drink has less caffeine than our competitors, but still tastes great. and will give you a little boost.
Dr. Sono Duper told me overall Prime Hydration is good in moderation, but in many stores we visited, Prime Hydration is next to Prime Energy, something doctors believe.
Okay, but they look exactly the same. That's how marketing works, though. That's exactly how marketing works. They do that with cereals. They do that with... It's just how marketing works.
Is a dangerous drink for kids.
I think there is a disaster waiting to happen.
It's the issue that a lot of kids are.
Oh, that's how I was making the connection. They did it with cereals, where like they have like the kid cereals, but they also have like the parent, the adult cereals. But they're all mashed together. They're in similar boxes. They both have, they're both squares on the shelves, and they're very similar to each other, but they're very different. And it's up to the parent whether they're going to read the labels or read the box.
Overly sensitive to the side effects of caffeine.
Dr. Breyer told me too much caffeine can make you agitated, increase your heart rate, blood pressure, cause chest pains, sweating, diarrhea, stomach cramping, and headaches. We learned just one can has more than double the caffeine in a cup of coffee, more than 3 times as much in a shot of espresso, and about 6 times as much as you'd find in a can of Coke. Doctors recommend no more than 400 milligrams of caffeine per day for adults. Now, for a 100-pound middle schooler, no more than 125 milligrams a day. Dr. Breyer said 1 can of Prime Energy is about 1.5 times what your child should consume.
Again, medical professionals being very...
But that's, yeah. I mean, give your kids juice.
critical of Prime Energy. I can't get over the fact that it has actually 6 Coke cans worth of caffeine and 3 times an espresso. I don't know what you guys are like with caffeine. Some of you are probably really tolerant to it. I drink like maybe a coffee a couple times a week if I'm really tired. But even then, that shit affects me pretty hard. I feel like I gotta try one of these suckers to really see how much caffeine this is. Prime is definitely under scrutiny. However, this isn't actually the first time Prime has taken a beating. There has been videos made about Prime hydration, in fact, where, they're advertising as a sports hydration drink, when in reality it just isn't that. The best video, with over 2.3 million views, from More Plates, More Dates, titled Logan Paul Crossed the Line, scientifically dismantling Prime hydration, gives a great insight to people like me or you who have really no idea what makes a good sports hydration drink. Well, this video here just rips Prime apart with science and facts, saying Logan Paul's advertising, he'll just say things, but can't really justify the statements he's making.
But he's pretty outspoken about the formulations in a way that is very much going after the heads of big top dogs in the industry, like I said. So I want to react to a couple of them because some of the stuff he says very much sounds good on the surface, but is it really justified? Does it really make sense?
He goes...
Well, it probably makes sense for adults, maybe not so much for children, but for adults it makes sense.
On to say that Logan Paul especially crossed the line when he compared Prime to Liquid IV.
Liquid IV with 11 grams of sugar compared to Prime's 2 grams. Liquid IV has 870 milligrams of electrolytes, and the Prime stick has 871 milligrams of electrolytes.
And now it's intentional. Look, we're this much better by 1 milligram. This is not the same stratification of electrolytes. So when he lumps them together as if it is an electrolyte is an electrolyte, it's like, do you know the composition of sweat that even comes out of your fucking face when you're exercising, bro? I don't think so. I think you think that this is all the same. And for you to go at Liquid IV, ready to like chop their head off when you don't even know what the difference is and why it would be useful to maybe have some sodium in there, is actually kind of laughable, to be honest.
Okay, so that part I understand if that's not right. Like if he ended up getting the information wrong, sure, we could be upset about that part and call him out for that. Absolutely. The only other thing is that that's very common in marketing as well, is because of the fact that, like, makeup brands do it too. They'll be like, oh, well, this will be like the most flawless makeup that you've ever seen before. Like, what is it, Michaela Navarra, where she ended up like saying, oh my gosh, this is the most amazing mascara ever. Blah! And then it ended up being like a false eyelash or whatever. It doesn't make it right, and yes, I say call them out for that for sure, but unfortunately it is a part of marketing.
I want to say that Prime really isn't a hydration drink for athletes like it's been advertised and something you want to drink to keep hydrated.
Or the liquid IV breakdown, we have 500 milligrams of sodium. So when he mentions as a criticism, it tastes kind of salty. It's like, well, good fucking luck getting away from the salty taste when you have over 500 plus milligrams of sodium in a product. Like Element, I believe, is a gram. Liquid IV, 500 milligrams. And you have Prime, which is 40. So no, we're not one-upping them by putting in 871 milligrams. Like, no, you are way the fuck below the threshold, bro. Like, you're way off the mark from something that is effective, in my opinion, for an actual performance formula. Get to the formula again and kind of round this out. So we have, again, the basis of the whole thing is essentially that this is not an actual electrolyte formula, rather it is a potassium drink with sucralose. That is what it is. Like, that's the purpose of Prime. It is something that you can drink on a daily basis as a enjoyable drink. That is what it is. It's not a actual performance-based.
Okay, well, that part's good to know. Yeah, we can call him out for that part if he's ended up like saying that it gives you health benefits when really it doesn't. I mean, the only thing that I thought was healthy in there was the actual coconut water, because coconut's healthy for you. I never really would hear of a drink from Logan Paul and be like, oh yeah, that's going to be my new stable favorite drink because of the health benefits. I think it's definitely an aesthetic for taste. That's not what I would think of, except for the coconut water part. But I don't know. That's the healthiest thing that I thought was in it. I wasn't thinking it was gonna lose weight or anything.
Athlete-focused electrolyte blend.
It just isn't what Logan Paul was trying to make it out to be. Prime themselves have responded to the
But yeah, false advertising isn't right.
By the FDA saying this. Prime has 2 drinks on the market, Prime Hydration and Prime Energy. It is very important to make the distinction between the 2 products because they are vastly different, reads a comment from a Prime representative. We started Prime last year with the launch of Hydration, a healthier sports drink alternative that comes in a bottle. Prime Energy, sold in the can, dropped in 2023 and contains a comparable amount of caffeine to other top-selling energy drinks, all falling within the legal limit of the countries it's sold in. It complied with all FDA guidelines for hitting market and stated on packaging as well as in marketing materials that is an energy drink and is not made for anyone under the age of 18. I've never seen KSI or Logan in the marketing materials state this. If they have, fair play. I haven't personally, because I think if they said that in an advert, like I said earlier, you're losing 99% of your audience with that. So pretty crazy that when kids turn 18, not only in England will they be having their first beer, they'll also be having their first Prime Energy.
Okay, well, to be fair, in America, that's different too. Like, it's going to be different everywhere you go, Like, in America, kids don't have their first beer until they're 21, supposedly, if they do it right. Like, not counting the ones that don't follow the rules, but you know what I mean? Or maybe even some of them don't follow the rules because of their, peer pressure or what have you, and then they end up doing it before that anyway, so,
I'm talking about. I don't think anyone, even me, before making this video, knew that Prime Energy was targeted towards people over 18. It goes on to say, as a brand, our top priority is consumer safety, so we welcome...
Wait. How could you not know that, though? And to be honest with you, yeah, okay, I guess kids do follow Logan Paul and all, but to have him be marketed to kids specifically, his Impulsive podcast, that's for an adult. I don't know if he exactly meant to, be targeting kids exactly. I think the wrestling thing, but that's an adult thing too. I think it's just what kids end up being into. And again, I'm not defending him. I just, but an energy drink though, that right off the bat just doesn't say kids to me. I'm sorry.
Discussions with the FDA or any other organization regarding suggested industry changes they feel are necessary in order to protect consumers. The main one would be just have the warning at the front and make it obvious rather than hiding it in the part no one reads with the ingredients and shit. And I'd have a hard time believing that when KSI and Logan Paul launched Prime Energy, in their heads, it was the over 18s all buying this and not the crazy kids who are literally selling this out at every supermarket in the UK. Prime Hydration is
Oh,
definitely
wow.
the better alternative if you want to get your kid a drink. Yeah, that's the drama right now surrounding Prime. Like the video. I'm curious to hear your opinions. What do you think? Prime Energy?
Okay. Well, that's all we have today, and leave your comments below. I'd like to know how you feel about it. Do you think that this is all just a big blowover, or do you think that, how shocking is it that kids are actually drinking these drinks, and is it out of the norm, or do you just think that energy drinks are just socially known as to be just for adults? Well, thank you so much for your time, and I appreciate it. And if you watched all the way through this video, I really appreciate you so much. Thank you for helping me grow my channel. It means the world to me. I've wanted to do this for so long, but I've been so nervous. I appreciate you all so very much, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you. Bye.